Hello and welcome to this late afternoon, early evening taste challenge. I have two 40% alcohol Johnnie Walker single malt Scotch whiskies. This one is Johnnie Walker Double Black. I know it's a very small bottle, but a few years ago, a local store had these small bottles and they were being sold at a lower price per ounce than a regular size bottle. Don't know why that happened, but I didn't ask questions. I just bought it. I bought as many as I could to add up to 15. I don't know if I quite made it to 15 because 15 of these would make a regular size bottle. But I told the lady at the store, I said, give me every bottle on the shelf. She did. So we're getting through it. I'm getting down to the end, but basically I've had a full bottle. So it's really great. Johnnie Walker Double Black, introduced in 2010. They say it's a rougher, more kind of unrefined version of Johnnie Walker Black, younger version, not age stated, not 12 years like Johnnie Walker Black. I've never had Johnnie Walker Black, actually. Well, I don't have enough for another one. This bottle's empty, and it's glass, not plastic, like a lot of the 50 milliliters. So I think the next blended Scotch I'll buy will be Johnnie Walker Black Label. That makes sense, doesn't it? Okay, now here is Johnnie Walker, A Song of Fire, introduced in 2019 in collaboration with Home Box Office, HBO, for a television series promotional. I remember when these came out, and they were like $40 a bottle. I was not interested in buying them. It has this wrap label. The label's wrapped on there. It's actually a clear bottle with this shrink wrap label. Okay, but anyway, just like they do with the new Johnnie Walker, relatively new Johnnie Walker High Rye. It's discontinued now because the television series ended, so there's no reason to do the promotional. I did a solo review. It's already posted. I thought it was kind of bland, if you want to know the truth. They're talking about smoke. On here, they talk about smoke, subtle smokiness. I don't find any smokiness. None. Now, is it a bad tasting product? No, it's not a bad tasting product. It just doesn't have a whole lot of flavor, so I had to give it a B. Like, it's good, but nothing too spectacular. And I'm glad I got it on discount. Now, these are both amber. You can see the appearance isn't going to matter. We'll look at the Johnnie Walker website for a minute. Can't hurt. Now, on the website, they're showing a brown bottle, a smoked brown bottle, but the little 50 milliliters are clear. A beautifully blended Scotch whiskey to savor the occasion. Johnnie Walker Double Black Scotch whiskey, double malt with a lingering smokiness. I'm not sure what that means, double malt. Maybe somebody can explain that. It runs about $47 a bottle, 46. You can shop around, you might find a deal. The rebellious younger sibling of Johnnie Walker. Scotch whiskies from the west coast of Scotland are chosen for naturally smoky flavor and are flavor, not flavor. You know, O-U-R, and are aged in charred barrels, making body double malt blend with a deep brooding intensity. Double malt, but I don't know what that means. A full-bodied experience, the electric energy of an storm. Then they got tasting notes and some more stuff down there. We don't need to look at all that. All right, so anyway, pretty famous product. A lot of liquor stores sell it. Tommy Carroll says, cheers, Louisiana whiskey reviews. I'm aware this is off subject, not a fan of light beers. What light beer do you find to have actual flavor? Milwaukee's Best Light would be an excellent example of that. Shiner Light, but I know that's Shiner Light Blonde. I know that's hard to find. outside of Texas and Louisiana. But yeah, Milwaukee's Best Light. A, it's inexpensive, and B, it has more flavor than most of your other American light beers. So if I was looking to drink light beer, and sometimes I am, but usually not, but I would buy the Milwaukee's Best Light. All right. Just sweet honey grains. No, nothing too elaborate here. Smoke. And that's no joke about the smoke. So if it's smoke, and I already said that the Song of Fire does not have any smoky character, then obviously this has got to be the Johnnie Walker Double Black, aged in charred oak barrels. Let me put that in the notes because they're making an emphasis on that. Double, I'll just put a double malt whiskey, whatever that means, aged in charred oak barrels or casks, as they say in Scotland, same thing. But I think the website that I just showed you says barrels. So automatically, I already think that the double black has a better aroma. Not that this is a bad aroma, it doesn't really have a whole lot of aroma. Yep. So let's go with the taste challenge. Not that it'll be a challenge. I was saying this before. Sourly honey-topped bread crust. It's a good flavor, but honestly, it's nothing that good, like different than like a lot of other Scotch whiskeys I have in that cabinet over there. And those are very cheap. Some of those are $15 bottles, not $40 bottles. Now I got this on discount for $14.99 at Star in Kenner, Louisiana, but you're not likely to find that. I mean, that was 2 years ago when they were getting rid of the product after the discontinuation of the television series, but or right when it was coming to an end. But I never watched a single episode and really know nothing about it. It doesn't, and I've watched some reviews on it, and they were saying the same thing. I haven't watched too many reviews yet. I've got such a backlog of reviews. I don't know if I ever get to them, but they were saying it's just kind of blah, you know. And no one said the flavor was bad. They just said there's nothing there. It's just ordinary Scotch, blended Scotch, just regular bread crust, you know, fine, but definitely not worth $40. And I was watching videos from 2019 when it first came out. And they said they even had bigger complaints about the Song of Ice, which I haven't opened that one yet. Now, Double Black, full of smoke. An amazing amount of smokiness. So they're obviously bringing in Scotch whiskeys from the, like they said, a western section of Scotland, Lagavulin, Corleala, stuff like that. And it's not like a little bit of smoke, like, oh, you can notice it's a heavy amount of smoke. Plus, they're aging it in charred oak barrels. They want to give it a double blast of smoke. Now, like I said, I don't know what double malt means, but they got the smoky, peaty malt, and then they're aging the whiskey after they distill it in charred oak. So that's what I mean about double black. Smoky, you know, charcoal smell, like a barbecue charcoal, and then the charred oak barrel. So if you don't like smoky whiskey, I would run from this one. Do not try it. You will hate it. Henry in Louisville says Pabst Blue Ribbon has the best flavor for a regular beer with lower numbers. Do an AB with high life. I like Pabst, and I was looking around to find a big can of Pabst, a single, because I wanted to do a review of Pabst versus Schlitz, because they're both being brewed by a new brewery now, and we're getting it from Williamsburg, Virginia. And I'm curious to see if there's a big difference between the current 2025 Pabst Blue Ribbon and 2025 Schlitz beer. But I might just have to buy a 6-pack of Pabst Blue Ribbon. We'll see. But I am trying to avoid doing that because I got a lot of beer in the fridge as it stands right now. And I can't just say, well, I'll just buy Schlitz next month, because you never know when it's going to stop showing up for 6 months. You know, it'll be on the shelves here, and then it'll disappear, and then I think it disappeared this time because they were transitioning from La Crosse, Wisconsin to Williamsburg, Virginia. City Brewing to Anheuser-Busch. So I don't know if City Brewing is going to still make it. They might for certain markets. I don't know if Pabst totally abandoned City Brewing, since they also own part of the company. I don't know what percentage. I don't get the impression that's a majority. But a pretty significant part of it. Okay. As usual, the Johnnie Walker Double Black wins. And as usual, it's usually not very close. Is Johnnie Walker Double Black one of the best blended Scotch whiskeys I own? I think there's no doubt about that. Clearly it is. It's not the best, but it's close. Close. Yeah, so that's it. Sorry, Song of Fire, but you are definitely not fire. Even though your label's on fire with the special effects. Jeffrey Lines, New England Beer Reviews, says, I have had the Johnnie Walker Double Black, but not the Song of Fire. I remember liking Double Black. I would strongly recommend Double Black. I know you loved it too. You just said that, and I think everybody who tries it, if they like smoky Scotch, will love it. Song of Fire, nah, I wouldn't recommend it. I still give it a B, you know, like 8.6 or something like that. It's well made and all. It just doesn't. It's got some problems. And the Johnnie Walker Double Black, easily an A, easily 9.4. If I lowball it, you know, give it a low score, an unfair score, 9.4 out of 10. Like I said earlier in the video, I would not have even bought the Song of Fire unless I found it for $14.99. I just ran across it. I wasn't looking for it. They had it $14.99. The Song of Fire, the Song of Ice. You didn't have to buy both, but they were there, so I bought them both, and it was less than $30. So what the heck? Now, maybe next year sometime, if I can manage it, maybe next year I can bring in the Song of Ice, because I got so much to do. Think about it. I got brandy coming up after we're finished with blended Scotch. Brandy. Got a French brandy. I think it's from France. The label's kind of screwball, but I think it's French. Brandy. Then we have rum. Then tequila. Then mezcal. Then rye whiskey. Then straight bourbon. Then blended whiskey. Then more straight bourbon, because I got to get through that bourbon. I got 17 unopened bottles. Then Canadian blended whiskey, then Irish blended whiskey. That's 10 right there. Then single malt Scotch whiskey. Then back to blended Scotch. So you can see why it's questionable if I'll get back to it in 2026. But that's the hope. We'll see. I mean, this year I went to Puerto Rico in January, so I couldn't do liquor reviews down there. I did do the rum, just that, you know, I didn't do taste challenges. I didn't have stocks at the hotel room. I just did a tasting of that Barriqua rum, which was very good, I might add. And so that was some days where I couldn't do anything. And I don't know if I'll go out of if I go on any overseas excursion this upcoming year. I wasn't too thrilled with the prices on Virgin Islands plane flights. I'm not dying to go to the U.S. Virgin Islands, but it would be interesting, a territory. Then they have a ferry that connects it to the British Virgin Islands. But now you got to pay this $10 fee and fill out this form to go to the British Virgin Islands and make it more of a hassle. But I don't know. We'll see. I did a lot of interesting trips in 2023, 24, and 25, I have to say. Alaska, never had been there before. Hawaii, never went there before. Europe, had never been there before. Africa, certainly not there before. And then Puerto Rico. So that's 5 interesting places. And I'm not much of a traveler, really, except for driving around the United States. Louisiana whiskey reviews. Now that the White Sox can't make the series, who do you hope to be in the World Series? The Cubs, because the Chicago Cubs are my second favorite team. But after today, I don't have too much confidence. I'm gonna tell you right now, because I was watching that and I turned it off. I said, let me get on these beer reviews, because I know where it's going. I know I could see where this is going, and it went exactly where I saw it going. All right, well, y'all take care, and I'll see y'all at the top of the hour in 18 minutes for Joker's Wild Wednesday. Any beer you want to bring, first Wednesday of the month. Well, any beer, wine, or liquor you want to bring, or I guess conceivably chocolate milk if you really want to go there.